And then the olives that got picked a little bit too soon are the olives that got a little overripe. And they'll take those out. They'll end up on the other side, which I'll tell you about that. And then the rest of them will fall, if you look over at these nylon ropes here. And they are narrow at my very far right, and as they come towards me, they get wider and wider. So the smaller size, the medium size, and the larger size will fall in between those ropes.
Can't do anything without taking a picture, you know.
Well, you have to see where you went. Where you been?
We don't have many olive trees in Iowa.
Yeah, we don't at all.
So they'll fall into these boxes, the olives. C.C. Graber, the founder, he did not want to refer to the olives as small, medium, large, extra large. So he sized it to where the size 16 are the largest olive we can. And it's based on 16/16 of an inch in diameter, all the way down to 10/16 of an inch in diameter. So what we can is the 16s, the 14s, and the size 12. When the box is empty, and not to drop on a hard surface since they are ripe and tender, they'll put this canvas frame and push them to drop, and then they'll eventually take it out. The size 10s and the 11s, they used to can them separately a long time ago, but there's not enough of that size to do that. So what they've done is they'll take these smaller olives, and they'll get cured and canned with the olives that drop in this box. And these are the olives that the graders took out because they could have been a little overripe or underripe. So these smaller ones and the olives here will be cured and canned together. And the label on that is Orchard Run. So you never know what sizes you'll have until you open the can. Surprise! So now they need to be cured.
So, like these are the original bats?
No, the original vats were wooden barrels.
Wow. These will last longer probably.
Oh yes, they have had 550 of these concrete vats. And this is where they're soaking in the salt and water, which is the brine. And they're in there soaking for 21 days. But every day of the 21 days, the brine gets changed. They will drain it out from the bottom and then plug the, see the indentation of the wooden planks? Mm-hmm. It's done to where they can unplug. So it's drained out. We cannot put it into the sewer system. It is then taken to a big holding tank that we have at the end of this building. And then a company comes and picks it up, and they dispose of it most of the time, well, they, for recycling. It is considered hazardous waste with all that salt. So they take care of that. So then they plug it back up. They will measure the amount of salt, put it in the tub, and fill the tub with water, and then empty it into each and every vat. So each vat will have a tub with the salt and water. And the measurement of how much salt, that I don't know. They haven't, it's a secret. So now they've been in there, of course, the first batch is there 21 days, and then, it as another batch, it's another 21 days, so it just keeps on to where, they're, depending upon the crop, it could be, some weeks or more or less, depending upon, the yield of the crop. All right, so they've been in there the 21 days, and that would be our first canning weekend after the 21 days. They can only on Saturday and Sunday. This operation is done during weekdays. It's hard to tell you when this is happening because we don't know until a day or two or three that the olives are coming in, because that's when, you know, they can see that, you know, when they're ripe. But the canning, you do know. So, and that usually has occurred around the last weekend of October or the first weekend of November in the past, something like that is when the canning weekend would start. So right now, right over here, they will bring in stacks and stacks of the empty cans. And we have 2 people working here, and they each will have this tool that picks up 8 empty cans, turn around, slide it off, and then the empty cans will roll on down. You can come this way. They roll on down, and then they hop aboard this belt, and they go on up onto the next room. So the empty cans are coming in from the next room, they get rinsed in this container, and they go along here, and they will enter over here. If you come closer, you can see where the cans would be underneath this. There's, see that half moon?
Cans are all the same size?
Yes. So, if you look here, they're taking the olives out of the vats. He has the strainer in his hand. They'll put the olives in the buckets that have holes in the bottom. So as they carry the olives, more of the brine will be draining. They'll put them on that landing. They get emptied over there. And this picture here shows what it looks like. With the ladies over here checking on them one last time. They could have gotten really overripe. They'll take those out, and then they'll fall on top of this stainless steel top right here. And so then the empty cans are coming in, they're going around. As they go around, they'll scoop the olives into the cans. And by this time right here, they would be full, and then they would exit to the next belt. And they do one size at a time. The size 16, you'll have approximately 25 olives. A size 14, approximately 29, 30. And the size 12, approximately 40. So they're not counting. They just put them in the cans. And they go on to the next.
So are these, is this person, sorry?
Oh, I was
Are
gonna
any
explain
of
to her,
these-
I was gonna explain to her about her over here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You have a good.
Happy to just be with us.
So right over here is this, and so right after they get off the filling wheel, they will look at the can and just eyeballing it, either take out if too many, or put in if there's not. And the reason why Edna's picture is there, she came to work for Gravers when she was 25 years old and stayed here until she was 92.
Oh my gosh.
Although she didn't work the line for a long time. She did other things, but they wanted to show her picture there.
That is a good worker.
I guess so.
So now that big white tank back there, it's heating water to the temperature of 200 degrees. It goes into the can of olives behind here. The lids are stacked up here. The lids would have this rubber edging around it like home canning lids. Now with that water at 200 degrees, when the lid comes down, it will hermetically seal it, making it airtight. It's crimped around the can, and also underneath there, as the lid comes down, an impression is put on here for the size of the olive that's in here and the batch code. So this is what it looks like, working from both ends. He picks up 6 cans at a time and puts them into the cart. So they, like I said, they're working from both sides, so the cart would be placed right here. So when the cart's full, now the inside of the can needs to get sterilized.